Hello everybody, welcome to this road test review of this 1998 Suzuki Bandit 600. This model is the S version, which just basically means it's got this fairing at the front. I'm going to be taking this for a ride, giving you some basic impressions of the bike, any knowledge I may know about them. Well, Suzuki's Bandit range have been about since 1995. This model was at 97/98, so it's the first generation one. You can tell that because the headlight is squarer and the tail section is slightly different as opposed to the Series 2 or the Bandit 2. This bike is powered by a 599cc inline 4-cylinder 4-stroke engine. Produces around about 80 horsepower as standard. These bikes have for years been very popular with first time riders, modders, Street Fighter builders. It's mainly because they are easy to work on, very easy to get parts for, and they're a good stepping stone for anyone looking to go up to a bigger bike. The Bandit range, it all started off being oil cooled, so it can give the engine a bit more of a sort of mechanical sound. This one, as you can hear, has been fitted with a performance end cam, which gives it a very nice growl. It's also been fitted with a set of aftermarket handlebars, which give it a more sort of lean forward, sort of racy-ish position. It's got twin clocks. On the right hand side you've got your rev counter, on the left hand side you've got your speedo with a trip and mileage display. Your warning lights, you've got left and right indicators, neutral, oil and high beams. It's very easy to ride. And although they haven't got the same amount of power as a super sports bike, it's got a lot more in the mid-range for your average day-to-day riding. That makes them ideal commuters. They're comfortable. I know the owner of this bike uses it to go visit his family in Wales a lot, and he has no complaints. This bike has twin discs on the front, a single disc at the back. The suspension is a traditional right way up style with no adjustment on them. The rear shock does have adjustment for preload. This bike has been fitted with an aftermarket rear shock. They cruise well, they're frugal on the fuel. They stop well, as I've just demonstrated. Like I said before, these are very popular on the custom market and Street Fighter market especially, because as a 600 they're an ideal first bike for people to modify. You can fit complete front ends off a wide variety of Suzukis and other bikes. There's swing arms, It can be fitted, you can have single-sided, extended, drag, braced, whatever you fancy. The beauty of these 600s is that they share the same frame as the 1200. So you can fit you could fit, if you wanted, the 1200 Bandit engine, or even the GSX-R 750 engine, or basically whatever you wanted. I've seen a Bandit with a 1000cc GSX-R engine fitted. So the only limit is your imagination. I mean, a lot of companies make bodywork that fits without any modification. Whereas normally, if you're customising, say you wanted to fit the rear end off a Ducati 916, you'd have to do a lot of fettling and a lot of fiddling just to get the thing to fit. There are companies out there that will do a replica 916 rear end that will bolt pretty much straight on. So modifications wise on this one, it's had a stage 1 Dynajet kit, K&N filter, end can, the sort of drag bars, spacer on the front springs, rear shock, shorter links, or jack up kit on the back. I think that's it. And all that, it may only give an extra 5 brake overall, but it makes the bike handle and start that much better. Also, it's been fitted with new EBC discs as well, which really help with the stopping. Okay, I've pulled over to the side of the road just to let you see a picture of the bike, in case for some strange reason you've never seen one of these before. It's a little bit filthy because the owner is using it every day in it, all weathers. As you can see, it's got the front fairing on it. See the end can. It's got this tail tidy under tray setup on it, which isn't great, to be honest. They don't fit particularly well, and it ends up with that on all of them I've seen. Tends to be a big gap. Hey ho. They're nice looking bikes. So this particular one has done 35,000 miles. It's starting to show it in a few places. It's got a little tear on the seat. Okay, let's get started. In these bikes, as with any Suzukis of the mid to late 90s, early 1000s, one thing you have to watch out for them is corrosion. It's the build quality on these are not the best. They were built to a budget. One of the main things you need to look for is just general corrosion on the engine, like the footrests. These have a habit of the nuts and the bolts getting sheared and seized where they are. If you find one that's been looked after, because generally with these there's two different types. There's ones that get ridden all the time, which is what this is, or you get ones that have been pampered and been modified, which don't generally have the same amount of mileage and tend to be in a lot better condition. Well, one thing I didn't mention on this, the tyres on these, they have a 110 70/17 on the front, and on the back they run a 150 70/17. That's because the back wheel is only 4.5 inches wide. A lot of people do fit 160/60s on the back, but it's not generally advisable because of the width of the rim. Not a short acceleration test. Yeah, it's up to 45, no problems at all. Now, overall with these bikes, they're not as refined, shall we say, as some of the newer bikes, and also the contemporaries of its time. If you compare this, say, to Honda Hornet, which is water cooled, the Hornet is a lot smoother, but it can also be a little bit more bland. With the Bandit you get character. With there being literally millions of these made, parts are very easy to come by on the second-hand market. Like I said before, aftermarket parts are very easy to get hold of. You can pick up these early 600s for sort of £500 onwards. As though the very early ones would be near enough 20 years old by now. That's a scary thought. So those ones are going to show a lot more wear and tear than some of the later ones. If you get a good one and look after it, the engines are pretty much bulletproof. You have to do something very silly to do much damage to the engine. They're reliable. They're a nice comfortable position, and they're a good first bike. Or if you want something that's cheap and economical for touring or commuting. Okay, so that's the end of my test and review. I hope I made some sense and gave you some information about this bike. So, until we meet again, thanks for watching and goodbye.